Here's a question to ponder. When did you last buy clothes you truly loved? Clothes you'd wear confidently in 5 years? Most of us can't say. For many, clothes are not lasting treasures. They've become quick, disposable items. Today, we're delving into fast fashion, the dark side hiding behind trendy storefronts. This industry is not just profitable, it's also harmful. Let's explore how we got here. For centuries, clothing was cherished. People expected to use coats for a decade or longer. Then, in the 1990s, a shift occurred. Retailers began mass-producing trendy items cheaply. Offshoring production to countries with cheap labor made profit margins soar. Fast fashion brands accelerated their release schedules. From a few collections a year, it jumped to monthly launches. Now they inundate us with new items weekly. By the early 2000s, clothing purchases doubled, but each item lasted half as long. This drastic change isn't coincidence. It's the model designed to keep you buying. Today, the fashion industry churns out around 100 billion garments yearly. That's 12 pieces for every person on Earth. But what happens to all this clothing? In the UK alone, 350,000 tons of textiles end up in landfills. That's equivalent to 3,500 double-decker buses every year, just in one country. Worldwide, a truckload of clothes is incinerated or dumped every second. The issue is compounded by material choice. Most garments consist of synthetic fibers like polyester and nylon. These plastic materials persist, breaking down into tiny fragments over centuries. Hazardous chemicals seep into our land and waterways. Don't be fooled, recycling isn't the solution. Less than 1% of clothing is recycled into new items. Many recycled clothes end up overwhelming local markets in developing countries, ultimately turning into vast dumps. Now, let's discuss the environmental impact of this waste. The fashion industry is the second largest water consumer globally. Producing one cotton t-shirt requires about 2,700 liters of water, enough for one person's drinking supply for 2.5 years. The dyeing process generates about 20% of industrial water pollution. The rivers in garment-producing regions flow in colors reflecting the latest fashion trends, but these shades poison local communities. The production also produces 4% to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Yet, this industry remains largely unregulated and hidden from public scrutiny. Now, let's focus on the human cost embedded in cheap garments. In 2013, the Rana Plaza factory collapse resulted in 1,134 deaths. Workers had reported cracks in the building but were ordered to stay. The brands making those clothes claim ignorance about their conditions. Most fashion companies don't own factories. They operate through subcontractors and layers of supply chains, distancing themselves from accountability. Workers earn below living wages, under harsh conditions, for a product useful only a few times. This system is not accidental, it's intentional. Low wages are a key feature, maximizing brands' profits. Our consumption enables this cycle. So why don't we talk more about these issues? The industry invests heavily in marketing us to ignore them. Price psychology makes us treat $7 tops as throwaways. Swift trend cycles, fueled by social media, leave us restless for novelty. Greenwashing is another cunning tactic. Brands promote sustainable initiatives that often represent only a fraction of their output. It's a way to distract us from the realities of production. Now, what can we do to make a difference? First, buy less. Each garment you don't buy means one less produced. Second, maximize usage. Wearing an item just 30 times can cut its carbon footprint by 40%. Third, explore second-hand options. The resale market is thriving and generates no new waste. Fourth, slow your shopping habits. Think, do you already own something like this? Will you wear it multiple times? Lastly, initiate conversations about these issues. Engage brands by asking tough questions. Support movements pushing for change. Individual actions alone won't fix fast fashion, but collective awareness can spark systemic change. Fast fashion isn't inevitable. It's a result of decisions made by corporations and policy neglect. Thank you for watching. Please comment on one surprising takeaway from today's discussion. I read every comment. If you want to dive deeper, check the resources in the description. Subscribe for more insights, and I'll see you next time.